Bally Playboy. I'd say there's some battery corrosion there. I think we'll address that first.
Okay, took the battery off, cleaned it up with a wire brush. It's not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
Check the fuses. Man, there was 3 fuses out. We have, let's see what fuses we had out. We had the GI fuse was out. We had the 43 volt coil power was out, and we had like the 14 volts going up to the solenoid driver board. That was out. So I have 3 out, so I got my 3 circuit breakers in there. We're going to turn it on. Now watch the LED flash. Now right there, you'd think that that's a problem, but watch it closely. You can see it's actually flashing. Amazingly, the game comes up. So what was going on here is why this LED looks like that. I suspect the transistor right here is fried. That's what controls the LED, and I can see the legs on it are highly corroded. So if I wanted the LED to work really well or work correctly, I really should probably replace this transistor. So normally to get the game in diagnostics, I'd use the coin door button. There's a button right here on the coin door that you would press, but it's not working. That button just goes up to this connector on the MPU board, and since I can't get the game to go into diagnostics, it's usually because the pins in here are corroded. You can see that there was a fair amount of corrosion on this board. So how do you get it into test mode? I just take an alligator test clip hooked to ground right here, and then I just take the end and I just gently and momentarily touch it, and now we're in lamp test. You can see the lamps going, and then I do it one more time just for a second, and now we're in score display test, and you can see one of the score displays here is missing a digit. This could be the connector or a bad resistor, not sure which. We'll look at that in a second. And this one is flickering down here too. Or, oh look, they're all missing that digit. If they're all missing that digit, it's probably a problem up here. So yeah, I pulled the pin out. You can see it's broken. You can see on the Molex right there, the hook is completely broken, so I'll repin it so that the front door diagnostic button works. So I didn't mess around with this one. I took it home and I bead blasted the corrosion. See how it takes all the corrosion off? I removed these 2 sockets because they were wasted, especially this one. And I bead blasted it, both sides too. And now I'll coat it with a thin coat of Krylon Crystal Clear just so the corrosion doesn't come back, and reinstall all the parts, and we should be good to go. So here's the bead blaster that I use. I bought this, I don't know, at Harbor Freight or something, and then you've got these little tiny beads. They're not really beads. It kind of looks like white sand, but it's not. They're actually ceramic beads, I guess, tiny little ones. And then you put your hands through, and you got the gloves, and you got the gun with the trigger, and you hook this thing up to your air compressor, close the lid, lock it down with your board in there, put your gloves in here, and you can basically blast the corrosion off using this low-tech device, and it actually works pretty good. I really like it. It really arrests the battery corrosion and makes it look nice, like a good clean repair. So I'm ready to test our MPU board. So I've done the bead blasting, put a little clear coat over it so that the corrosion doesn't come back, put a coin style battery in with a blocking diode on the underside, new socket for the 5101, new socket for the PIA, new transistor here for the LED, and hopefully when we fire this up it should work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the thing boots. We got score displays. Let's run it through diagnostics. For my first test, I've got my lamp test. Okay, that's all working. I got all my lamps going. Then I ground this pin, and we go to our score display test. That's all working. Now I'm going to ground this pin again, and now we've got my the solenoids are all firing. Diagnostics again, that's out, and then we go to switch inputs. Come on, okay, so switch inputs. So I've got this little test board here that I use that's all the switch inputs. So for example, I can go through and go, there's switch 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Oh, look, there's a problem. 4 and 5 are shorted together. Look at that. So I've still got a problem on this MPU board. It looks like it's working, but I don't have switch 5. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But it's going to come back around at 11 and 12, or 12 and 13. 12, no 13. I just got 12. Huh, no 13. Alright, so we still got a problem on this board. So the short on the switch matrix had to do with this connector. This is the switch connector for the coin door. And you can remember we were having problems with this. I had to repin the female side. Well, obviously the corrosion comes from the board up to the female connector. So what happened is, if you look on the very edge here, I lifted this plastic body of the connector up. There was corrosion underneath this. So what I did is lift it up, and then I bead blasted it, and then I'll put a little clear on there, and then I'll push the connector back down. I also did it for the power connector too, because that was in the corrosion zone too. Corrosion is conductive, so it gets underneath these plastic connector housings and can fester. So we got to do that to fix it, and that took care of the short in the switch matrix. Now it's working right. 3, 4, 5. And then what was it? 12, 13, 14. So now I don't have that row short anymore. Again, just more battery corrosion issues. Okay, got the CPU board back in the game, and we were ready to power up. You can watch the LED flash sequence. Now with that new transistor in it, gives me all the flashes. And we are ready to play. And away we go. Needs a little more angle, I think. We are playing. Yep, 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 yep. Good to go.